Welcome to the SABC News COVID-19 Global Wrap. I am Bosisiwa Khatebe. This week, I bring you highlights of news which dominated headlines with regards to the coronavirus pandemic. But before we delve into it, let us have a look at some global stats. The world currently sits at over 126 million cases, with over 101 million recoveries and over 2.7 million deaths. Now ranking 17th in the world, South Africa sits at over 1.5 million cases, with over 1.4 million recoveries and over 52,500 deaths. Staying in South Africa, today marks a year since the country went under lockdown. The initial 21-day hard lockdown was aimed at slowing the spread of COVID-19. It was announced days after President Cyril Ramaphosa declared a national state of disaster. Currently, the country is in alert level 1 of the lockdown. Reserve Bank Governor Leseke Kganyago has warned that the expected COVID-19 third wave is likely to weigh on economic activity both globally and locally. Announcing the bank's decision to keep the repo rate unchanged at 3.5%, Kganyago said the distribution of vaccines will be slow, contributing to an uneven pace of global economic recovery this year and in 2022. Meanwhile, government has increased COVID-19 vaccination sites to 54. It says the third phase of the vaccination program will be rolled out between November and February next year. In a statement following Wednesday's cabinet meeting, government indicated that it hopes to reach more than 22 million people in the final phase of the rollout. On to the rest of Africa, the continent has now recorded over 4.1 million COVID-19 cases with over 3.7 million recoveries, and the death toll stands at 111,450. The first 723,000 of up to 7 million vaccine doses that MTN Group is donating to African countries have arrived in 9 nations, the African Union's disease control body said. Africa CDC Director John Nkengasong says Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Senegal, Mauritius, and Togo had received doses from the South African telecoms company. Africa is relying primarily on free doses from the World Health Organization-backed COVAX vaccine sharing facility, which aims to secure 2 billion doses by the end of 2021. And lastly, Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa on Wednesday launched the second phase of his country's COVID-19 vaccination program. Mnangagwa and some opposition politicians received China's Sinovac COVID-19 vaccine during the launch. Zimbabwe has registered vaccines from China, India, and Russia for emergency use, but none so far from Western manufacturers. And in the Middle East, Israel has administered 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccine to more than half of its population, the health minister said, a world-beating rollout that has helped the country emerge from pandemic closures. And in international news, in the United States, President Joe Biden on Thursday announced a new COVID-19 vaccine goal of 200 million shots, up from his initial goal of 100 million shots for his first 100 days in office. The Biden administration also announced new plans to allocate COVID-19 vaccines to dialysis centers worldwide, which would be made available to patients and dialysis healthcare personnel. Meanwhile, Florida said it will open up COVID-19 vaccination eligibility to people over the age of 18 starting on the 5th of April. As seen in a CNN report, Florida is currently allowing residents over 50, people with some medical conditions, and those with essential jobs to get the vaccine. In South America, the World Health Organization's Carissa Etienne warned that COVID-19 is surging at a dangerous rate in Brazil and urged all Brazilians to adopt preventive measures to stop the spread. Etienne says the dire situation in Brazil is also affecting neighboring countries such as Peru and Bolivia. The virus variant first discovered in Brazil, known as P1, which experts say is more contagious than the original coronavirus strain, has now been detected in 15 countries and has become a major cause for concern. In Asia, India on Wednesday detected the presence of a new COVID-19 variant. The variant, described as a double mutant by health officials, is the first Indian variant of the virus identified so far, and government says it's unclear if this strain is behind a sudden surge in cases. Adding to its woes, the country on Wednesday also struggled with the highest single-day tally of new infections and deaths this year, recording 47,262 cases and 275 deaths. In Europe, France is seeing an increase of COVID-19 patients in intensive care units. On Wednesday, that country's health ministry data showed that 4,651 people were admitted to ICU, setting a high for 2021 so far. The health ministry also reported 65,373 new coronavirus infections, more than 4 times the number of cases registered on Tuesday. And in Belgium, a new sharp renewed lockdown will be imposed in efforts to contain a third COVID-19 wave. The lockdown will see a closure of schools, non-food stores and hairdressers for 4 weeks from Saturday. A year on from the first pandemic shutdown, Prime Minister Alexander De Croo told a news conference that the variant of the virus first discovered in Britain had become dominant in the country and led to a doubling of COVID-19 patients in hospitals. And finally, a study published by the American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology revealed that Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna COVID-19 vaccines are effective in pregnant and lactating women who can pass protective antibodies to newborns. According to a CNN report, the research team said that women passed vaccine protective antibodies to their newborns found in breast milk and the placenta. For the latest updates on the coronavirus, visit sabcnews.com.